Coming up today on Studio 13 Live. We're getting a special performance from an Elton John tribute artist. How you can see Elton Dan and the Rocket Band at the Triple Door this weekend.
Plus, how the Arts Fund and the Paul G. Allen Family Foundation are teaming up to provide the community with $10 million for more than 670 art and cultural organizations around the state.
I know you can hear me, Scott. I mean that in a nice way.
I caught up with 2000s icon Rachel Lee Cook about her new Netflix rom-com, A Tourist's Guide to Love. She told us all about moving to Vietnam to film the movie and what her first impression of her romantic interest really was.
And Next Level Burger is cooking up some plant-based patties. Hear all about their mission to combat climate change, one burger at a time. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today.
Hey there! Happy Friday, friends! It's already the end of another amazing week, and by my side again today is China Green. Hi.
Hello. Yesterday was so much fun.
Much fun.
We ate, we drank, we laughed, we gossiped. Really, just kind of living our best life.
We did it all. I'm glad you're by my side again today. It's going to be a really fun show. We get to eat at the end of today too, so looking forward to that. Also, get excited because tomorrow is Earth Day, so if you can get outside and do something positive to help the environment, why not? Sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like a good idea. But something that maybe not everyone thinks is a good idea is the whole blue check marks thing on Twitter, because they have disappeared for legacy verified users on Twitter. Even for Pope Francis, even Beyonce, the check is gone. And Twitter says the blue check marks are available for people who subscribe to Twitter Blue only. It's $8 a month individually or $1,000 a month for an organization. So this has brought up a lot of discussions about how to know what is real and not real on Twitter. And coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to be chatting with TMZ to get a scoop on which celebs are paying to keep that blue check mark.
I checked this morning. Mine disappeared.
It's done.
It was fun while it lasted. I mean, I tweeted a lot. I would say like 5 to 10 years ago, I was really into Twitter.
Yeah.
And I've just sort of like tapered off a little bit since then. I prefer like TikTok and Instagram and other platforms. So that's when I got verified back then. And I'm like, I just don't want to pay $8 a month now. It's not that much money, but just like the principle of it.
Right.
And even, you know, since like Instagram and Meta has been sort of, you know, implementing this themselves, now when I see like the blue check mark, I'm like, that's cool, but it doesn't like hold the weight, I guess, that it used to anymore. It just means like you paid for a blue check mark, which there's nothing wrong with at all. I think like that means you're taking, you know, your business or your career seriously to want to be like seen a little bit higher status-wise on Instagram and Twitter, but I don't think I'm gonna pay for it. What about you?
I definitely wouldn't pay for it. Maybe the news station would pay for it. I don't know how that's going to work, but I do find it tricky in our line of work. You know, a lot of people don't know this. When we go out to a story, whether it's a fire, a car accident, anything of that nature, majority of the times the information that we're getting is being fed through Twitter, because we go on the organization's website or the Twitter, and they tweet out updates every 30 minutes. So that's what we're going on air with, telling you what is happening. And I have seen Twitters that have, you know, accounts that have tried to be like, you know, Seattle Fire, and it's not them. So then they're tweeting out misinformation. And so unless you go onto their Twitter before, you know, you say whatever the news is, you have to see, and you know, their follow count and kind of look through those tweets and make sure that they've been doing it for a while. It's going to get a little sketchy here, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm sure it won't be the smoothest thing, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rollout and everything.
Yes.
Oh man. Something else that is just going to be very interesting, the new season of Selling Sunset. So a new trailer for the 6th season of the Netflix series Selling Sunset. It just dropped. Take a look.
$100 million in sales and counting. So when we get in the way of that, there's going to be an issue.
Looking better than the cover of a magazine. Like,
I'm going to be a rock star mommy and also a rock star businesswoman.
I don't think I'll really miss Christine. So it's probably for the best that she's gone.
Oh, snap. Ooh. The drama between the beautiful real estate agents continues with some familiar faces, including Chriselle Staus, Heather El Moussa, and Mary Fitzgerald. But the big hype is that there will be 2 new agents this season, including Nicole Young and Bree Tiesi, who you might know because she has a son with Nick Cannon, his 8th child of 12. The new season premieres on Friday, May 19th. And I have to tell you, I'm really excited for this new season. I did get sucked into the Selling Sunset world. I watched Selling the OC. Like it is just, you know, it's like a reality show. You can't take it too seriously, but it's really fun. And I think something that this show does really well is bring in new agents and new cast members without it being like awkward or totally changing the vibe of it. So Christina's out, and now we've got a couple new people in, and so I'm excited to see kind of what the new season brings.
So I've never seen this. Are they legitimate real estate agents?
They are, because some of them have been questioned before. So people have been like tweeting out, oh, I looked it up, and I couldn't find this person's real estate agent, and then they reply with their, their license. So they reply with their license information. They're like, I'm a legit real estate agent. They have to be.
Receipts.
Yeah,
receipts. Got it.
Exactly.
But maybe reality TV, not your thing. Maybe you're more into superheroes. Disney Plus announced the SpiderMan trilogy. The Amazing Spider-Man are now available on the app. So Spider-Man Homecoming and Venom will also be available starting May 12th. The movies, which are owned by Sony, they were previously on separate sites, apart from the rest of the Marvel content on Disney Plus. So it's not clear if the other Spider-Man movies will be added later, but we all know how many superhero movies there are, so hopefully this makes it easier for people to watch.
Yeah, I'm a few Spider-Mans behind, so it's an easy way to catch up.
I think I watched it in the 90s maybe when it first came out, and there's so many love interests and so many different people playing. I don't even know where we're at now.
My boyfriend watches every single one though, so before I watch any new ones, I'll be like, give me the rundown on the previous ones too. He's fully committed to it. So a former America's Got Talent contestant got a very special surprise from Ed Sheeran while singing on a subway station in New York. Take a look at this.
Dancing with my eyes closed. Everywhere I look, I still see you. Time is moving so
Oh, so 62-year-old Mike Young was singing Ed Sheeran's song Eyes Closed. When Ed came up behind him and started singing, the two were able to hug, shake hands, and even sing a little bit together. How cool would this be?
I love when that happens. I love when it's caught on camera, you get emotional, and I love when famous people, whether they're a singer or a guitarist, they do that and make them feel welcome and then do something with them. It's great.
It's like the most beautiful side of the internet. You know, there's like always so much going on the internet, good, bad, but I feel like watching surprises is always just really fun on the internet too. Who would be like your person where if they came up behind you, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening right now?
Ariana Grande.
Oh.
I would not be able to speak. I would probably just fall.
Yeah, she's such an icon. I feel like mine would also be a fellow pop star, Taylor Swift.
Oh, you're a Swiftie.
I'm a Swiftie.
Okay.
I would be like, you're always probably asked like, who would you want to interview if you could interview anyone? And like, she's definitely one of my top celebrities that I would want to talk to, especially since she does so little press. But I would also like really have to hype myself up to do that, just because I don't know, I love her so much.
It's Taylor Swift, man. Yeah. All right, so this is really interesting, which a recent eBay survey found that Gen Zers like to sell and buy items from secondhand stores, so it's official, thrifting is back. I didn't know it left, but here we are. So according to the survey, thrifting has exploded since the pandemic. The survey found that 80% of Gen Zers purchased secondhand items in 2021 and 2022. So thrift store owners and resale websites say the generation loves clothes from the 90s. I mean, if it's iconic and you live through it, go ahead. Buy all that 90s clothes. But you need to commit. Like, I need to see the snap wristbands. I need to see the butterfly clips. Like, they really need to commit.
You got to pluck your eyebrows to really show you're into the 90s. Do it. I know. It's so hard to, like, get back to the 90s style, too, when it's like we've lived through it. I did the butterfly clips at least, and that's like, I'm like, how do I do this again? There's some trends I jump on, but I don't know. But I will say, like, props to Gen Z for thrifting and, like, being more sustainable. I feel like they're all so aware of things like that too, so I think it's awesome.
If you were to go into a thrift shop, where do you go?
I would go to the hoodies, to the sweatshirts. Yeah, find like a cool vintage sweatshirt, like a little like crew neck sweatshirt. What about you?
I have learned, my family's from the South, and the best thing to do is get cowboy boots because they're already broken in. Because I don't know if anybody has broken in some cowboy boots, some real cowboy boots. it's painful. It is a painful situation. So to do that, or Levi's, because sometimes they're really stiff. You get them a little worn in naturally. So yeah.
I used to always buy old T-shirts too, because they're just the designs are so fun, like 70s designs and that kind of thing. Well, you might find the jackpot if you thrift, or could winning the jackpot lead to a divorce? How about that transition? One woman says that she won a semi-life-changing amount of money on a scratch-off ticket, and it's now causing issues because she doesn't want to share it with her husband. So the woman says that she won tens of thousands of dollars, and she now wants to travel alone without her husband. However, her husband thinks that the money should be put in their joint savings account and be used to help buy a house. Lots of discussion online for sure about this one. What do you think? Where do you stand on this?
I think they need to use the money and go to counseling because that seems like grounds for a divorce.
I mean, it seems, I don't know what their arrangement is here, but I would need to know that to like give you a proper answer on this. But I will say I am a big proponent of women having their own money. Whether you're married, whether you even share money, I think you should have your own checking account and just like have that freedom just in case, and also just so like you can have fun with it. And so to me, this doesn't sound like something that they've just been like, you know, putting money in this pot for so long and she's taking it and running and going and traveling. I'm like, this is just like a random fun thing that she did. And so I think she should do whatever she wants with the money.
But what if it was flipped and the husband won all this money and said, no, sweetie, this is just for me. Smell you later. I'm going to go golf or something in Bora Bora.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what their arrangement is, right? Because if like he's been floating her lifestyle and then she's like, wait a minute, I'm taking this money and I'm going, then like that's not a good sign for their marriage. But I would like an update on the story.
Yeah, we need an update. We're gonna follow up on that. So we'll see what she's gonna do. But if his name's Kyle, we know where he could be. Because if your name is Kyle and you're up for an adventure next month, you could potentially help, you know, just break a world record. So the city of Kyle, Texas wants to break the world record for the most people with the same name in the same place. So from May 19th through the 21st, the city is hosting a Kyle Fair. It's the city's fourth try to break the record. So 4 times the charm, apparently. Hopefully it happens this year. So do you know any Kyles that are up for this challenge?
I don't. I can't think of any Kyles who would want to do this, but I think it's a super fun idea. I'd love to go to a Carly festival.
I can tell you there wouldn't be a China festival. There would be maybe 4 of us and we'll grab a drink together and call it a day.
Have you ever met another China?
I actually had a China DM me about 2 months ago, and she said, you know, oh my gosh, your name's China. I've never, and it's spelt the same, which is you usually don't get.
Yeah.
And we kind of went back and forth on how we were named. I was named after China Phillips. She was the same.
Oh my God.
So that makes 1.
Yeah. There you go. It'd be an intimate gathering.
A very intimate. Do you know any Carlys?
So there was another Carly Henderson specifically who was getting emails that were intended for me that was just like 1 letter off in the email.
Oh, wow.
And she lives in Portland, actually. So we had like a few exchanges there, and we reminisced about other Carly Hendersons that we've heard of, and she would forward me my emails for a little while.
That is the sweetest Carly
really nice.
I have ever heard of.
I feel like we would both definitely show up to the festival, right? So, yeah, well, I'm excited to see this Kyle festival. I feel like that'd be a good
4
time.
times a charm. They're going to make it this time.
Yeah.
But still to come on Studio 13 Live, it is time to check in with TMZ for our top entertainment headlines.
Yeah, we told you who doesn't have the blue check mark on Twitter anymore, but some celebrities have decided to pay up. We'll give you the scoop about that right after the break.
All right, it is time to take a look at what is poppin' in celebrity news.
And for that, we are bringing in TMZ senior producer Charlie Neff. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We made it. We were just talking about this. So, you know, Twitter getting rid of the blue check marks for the legacy verified users, us included. Some celebrities have decided to actually pay for one. So who's paid so far?
Yeah, so Ryan Reynolds still has his blue check. Taylor Swift still has her blue check. Soulja Boy, Khloe Kardashian. So there seems to be a lot of people that did opt to pay for the service. Or they could have paid and then now they're just waiting for it to run out. But either way, a lot of people were up in arms about losing their blue check on Thursday. And a lot of celebrities don't currently have that blue check. Like Beyonce let hers go. And even Elmo from Sesame Street, he no longer has the blue check. So this is affecting everybody and anybody. I was also one of them that lost my blue check, but I think kind of the vibe right now is that if you pay for the blue check, it's a little lame, little corny.
Yeah.
So I think the way to go right now is to just let it die off. But kind of like I said, there are celebrities that are like, let's feel this out and keep it for a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in good company with Beyonce, so I mean, if she's doing it, we're doing it. It's the right move.
Exactly. All right, we're going to get on a little bit more of a, I guess, more serious topic here. So new details coming out surrounding the Alec Baldwin and the Rust movie shooting case. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so as you guys already know, Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter charges were dropped, but now it's been revealed that the gun that actually killed cinema photographer Helena Hutchins, the trigger on that was actually replaced. So this is really interesting. You know, Alec Baldwin, his whole defense was that he never actually pulled the trigger. And at the time, prosecutors and the FBI really came out and tried to, debunk that. And they were totally against that, saying, it's impossible, essentially. But now it's being revealed that they realized that the gun, the trigger part, had actually been replaced, which means that it's highly likely that it's possible that it did misfire. So it's possible that Alec was telling the truth. And, look, this whole case has kind of gone down in flames. It's 2 weeks away from the trial, and it was revealed that Alec's charges were dropped. The only one that is still charged with involuntary manslaughter is the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed. So we'll see how that develops. But look, Alec Baldwin is celebrating. He's glad that he's, kind of been separated from this case now. He posted on Instagram a photo of him and his wife, Hilaria, basically just saying that he's grateful that she was by his side and also thanking his attorney as well. So we'll keep you updated as it develops.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Thank you so much, Charlie. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Likewise. Talk next time.
Okay, bye. Well, still to come on Studio 13 Live, how the Arts Fund and the Paul G. Allen Family Foundation are teaming up to provide the community with $10 million for arts and cultural organizations across the state. We'll be right back.
I wanna see you smile.
Arts Fund and the Paul G. Allen Family Foundation are teaming up for the Community Accelerator Grant Program, providing more than $10 million in grants for arts and cultural organizations across the state of Washington.
And today we're joined by Michael Greer, the president and CEO of Arts Fund, and Judy Avatia Gonzalez with the Nipontla Cultural Arts Gallery, which is one of the grantees. Welcome.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you both so much for coming in. And so, Michael, kind of talk to us about, the Arts Fund and what it means to you to partner with the foundation to provide funds for over 670 arts and cultural organizations. I mean, that's incredible.
Absolutely. So Arts Fund, we're a 50-year-old organization our mission is to support the arts through leadership, advocacy, and grant making in order to build a more healthy, equitable, and creative Washington. The program that we have with the Community Accelerator Grant is, as you mentioned, it's a partnership funded by the Paul G. Allen Family Foundation and administered by Arts Fund that will see 671 organizations distributed with $10 million across 35 out of the 39 counties across Washington. And we're really excited because those grants are going to range anywhere from between $2,500 and $25,000. And what is really important for me to remember is that those funds are going to be unrestricted, which means that these organizations will be able to use this funding for whatever it is that they feel is going to be most impactful in their communities.
That's incredible. It's a good freedom for people, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then talk to us about the community advisory panel for the program and how the recipients of these grants, how they were chosen.
Absolutely. The community advisory panel was a group of individuals that we brought together in order to not only help us administer the program, but to also help us make the final decisions. And the reason that we did that is because these individuals were brought together from across the state, and we felt that they really represented the communities that we were trying to best serve. And so the whole program was really designed in a way that we wanted to make sure that the program was as close to the impact as we could make it.
That's awesome. And Judy, I know you're the co-director of the Nipontla Cultural Arts Gallery. It's one of the grant recipients here. Tell us a little bit about your gallery and how this is going to help fund some of your programs.
Yes, thank you. So we're a multi-use, multicultural arts gallery grounded in the Chicano arts traditions. We host monthly art exhibitions every month, focus on marginalized communities, communities of color. We have a gift shop where we highlight local artists and artisans. And in our space, we offer free arts programming. Our mission really is to make art accessible, and so we hold book readings, lectures, arts programming. Everything is always free and accessible to our community.
That's wonderful.
And then talk about those events and those classes that are coming up, and then also how you help create a platform for people of color.
Yeah, so in our space, currently we have an art exhibition with high school students. We're hosting students from Evergreen High School, and next week we'll have students from Youth in Focus display their art. It's part of a senior project. One thing we do in our gallery is we don't keep a cut or a commission. So anything that an artist sells, 100% goes to the artist. Yeah, so my amazing fiance, Jake Prentice, is an amazing Chicano artist, and he knows what that feels like. So it's really about sharing the platform and giving space to local artists.
How did you make the decision to do that, to give them 100% of the profit? Was that always your mission, or like, how did you know?
Well, it's our way to support artists, right? We have an amazing Chicano Latinx arts movement happening here in the Pacific Northwest, so it's our way to support them, and it also, you know, gives people the option to buy art at a fair price. That no one has to hike up their prices.
I love that. And Michael, I mean, this is just a huge step for the future of arts programs in Seattle. Tell us a little bit about what that means to you to be able to get to be a part of that.
Well, obviously we're really excited at Arts Fund. We really believe that art is not only what's in the galleries and what's on stage, but it's a part of everybody's everyday life.
Yeah.
And so when we have the opportunity to get these types of funds out into the community, we know that it is affecting the people that are, you know, intersecting with art in many, many different ways. And so we also encourage others that are out in the community that have the capacity to, you know, to fund these types of programs to really step up and recognize how important it is to have arts in their communities and what it does, not just now, but for what it's going to do in the future.
Tell me about some of the feedback that you've gotten from some of the people who've received these grants, because I imagine this is pretty life-changing for so many people.
Well, we have one of them
here
right now, but I will say that the recognition that this type of support makes a difference to the children in the community, to the community at large, not just one specific sector. Having arts in a community, it really it lifts up the entire community. So the feedback that we're getting is really about how important it is to have arts and cultural programming close to the people in a community.
And what's next for you guys? Is there anything else that you have planned for the future that you want to incorporate?
Well, Arts Fund has a number of different programs that we run throughout the course of the year. And like I mentioned before, we're really hoping that we can continue to do these types of regranting programs with other organizations and other individuals and corporations and foundations that have the capacity to resource this type of funding.
Definitely. What about for you, Judy?
Well, this for us is, you know, it's amazing because it allows us to continue doing the work that we're doing, bringing arts programming for free. Families can come and make art, piñatas, and journal making, book readings, all for free, all supplies provided. So we're very grateful.
That's amazing. Yeah, a huge part of it is just having access to those supplies, right?
That's right.
That's amazing. I love what you're doing. Michael and Judy, thank you so much. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you both.
Thank you for
keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And we've got a link with more info on the Community Accelerator Grant up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live.
All right, coming up next on Studio 13 Live, we talk with actors Rachel Lee Cook and Scott Lee.
Yes, they star together in a new Netflix romantic comedy. I had to ask them all about their first impressions of each other while starring in A Tourist's Guide to Love.
All right, so I'm definitely planning for a little Netflix time this weekend. I need it. And sometimes I wonder when I watch a romantic comedy, like, do the actors like each other in real life?
I definitely wonder about that too. And I actually talked to Rachel Lee Cook and Scott Lee. They're the stars of the new Netflix rom-com called A Tourist's Guide to Love. I asked them all about what their first impressions of each other were, what it was like living in Vietnam while they were filming the movie, and so much more. So enjoy.
Carly, you look like an album cover.
Oh my gosh.
You really do.
Thank you. Okay, this is already the best start to my interview.
You really do. You got to screen grab this at some point.
Oh my God, thank you. So good to see you guys. I loved this film. It definitely made me want to travel to Vietnam. And I know that you lived there, obviously, while you were filming this. What was it like? You know, what were your favorite parts? Is there anything you miss?
I miss the coffee so much. The coffee there is better. There, I said it. It's not a controversial take. It's just true. Scott, what do you miss? Scott's in Thailand right now filming an HBO show. I'm his publicist.
Yeah, I miss, I just miss the walks that I did. I got out of the hotel and I was just like every morning after my workout, after my sauna, I would go and I would walk the streets and just kind of experience the whole thing. I miss that. I miss the sounds of all those motorcycles. I miss the sound of people cooking. I miss the sounds and the heat on my back, sweating as I'm walking. I miss that.
That's the best way to get to know a city. By the way, if you're in Thailand filming an HBO show, is that White Lotus?
Mm-mm. No.
No? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta know. I just always have to know. I want to ask you guys about bargaining because there's one scene in the film where Rachel, your character is about to pay full price for this item. Scott, you jump in, you're like, there's no way, you have to bargain for this. How comfortable or skilled are each of you at bargaining in real life?
Scott, I feel like could do it. He turns on the charm and it's game over.
I'm high level on that. I'm black belt.
It's true.
What's the trick?
You got to go like way below what you want to pay. And then it's negotiated in the middle. This is game up. But sometimes you don't get it. I mean, sometimes, you don't get it.
Well, you guys play love interests in the film. What was your first impression of each other when you met in real life?
It's so dumb. We first met over Zoom. So we're just going off like wow, hope this person doesn't smell like garlic or something when he shows up. Like, I don't know. He seemed incredibly charming and dynamic over Zoom. So I was like, yeah, I'm sure this will work out great. And luckily it did. So, but yeah, I was just drawn to, we were all just drawn to Scott's energy. He's just so unique and so, I don't know a different word other than just like kind of quirky, but he has this full swagger about him. I know you can hear me, Scott. I mean that in a nice way. He's confident from a place that's just still really genuine. I don't know. I just think he's a very cool human being.
That's an awesome description. What about you, Scott? What was your impression of Rachel?
Yeah, well, I'm confident because I don't really care anymore. I think that's
he does not care at
Rachel,
all.
Over Zoom, it was like, I remember just kind of like, oh, I wonder what she brings, how she's like. And it was so effortless and so nice. Like the energy was so good. I met her in person in Vietnam. She was just like right away, like started like mentoring me, just like saying these things, these beautiful things, these nice things to me. And I was like, wow, I'm here, Rachel Lee Cook, and she's saying all these things. And it's like, you see like stars, Hollywood stars, and you're like, I hope they're nice people. And some of them aren't. And then, but with her, she's literally like what people hope that Hollywood stars are. Is this humble, nice, genuine person. You really want to like be their friend and you want them to take you in, and they do.
Oh, that's so nice of you, Scott. I do not feel anywhere near that fancy. I do not remember feeling like I had anything to teach you. I think I just wanted to ease any anxieties you might have had about like the schedule or the shoot itself. Like we're all in uncharted waters out there too. It's a unique experience for all of us.
Rachel, I have to ask you this before we go too. I remember like how iconic She's All That was when it came out, and you just had the coolest career.
Thank you.
I'm so curious to know, what was the first moment where you really felt like I made it? Was it like a magazine or an award show?
Any day now. Any day.
You still don't feel it?
Ask my accountant. I'm just kidding. I feel, you know what? I feel more centered and happy with where I am today than I ever have been. And that's come from, getting behind the camera, also being part of the development process. You've heard a million other actresses give the same speech, so I'm not going to bore everyone at home. But thank you for saying I've had an awesome career. It's a vulnerable position, being an actor, trying to put yourself out there and raising your hand and saying, like, I think that I should be in movies that people would watch. Just is a little bit against my nature, but I love storytelling and I'm never going to stop.
Well, you're amazing at it. Scott, you are too. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us about the movie, and I can't wait for everyone to see.
Thank you. Can't wait for the album.
I'll work on that.
How cool were they? I'll say too, the movie is shot so beautifully all across Vietnam. And if you want to check out A Tourist Guide to Love, it's streaming on Netflix
starting today. That was really cool talking to them.
But I need to know, was she into Freddie Prinze Jr., like in real life?
Right.
I need to know.
How could you not be, though, right?
It's Freddie Prinze Jr.
He's still just as handsome as he was back in the day.
He is an icon. They're both icons. And
They
how
are.
cool for, you know, when you saw the movie back in the day, I mean, this is not the movie we're talking about,
Yeah.
but when you saw She's All That back in the day, you just thought it was a random movie, and now
I know.
it's such a classic.
I know.
That was really cool that you
It
got
really
to talk
is.
to her.
Thank
That's awesome.
you.
All right, so it is a big day coming up for people because Bring Your Own Cup Day is coming back to 7-Eleven. Talking about iconic, on April 29th, you can bring something to act as your cup and fill it up with a Slurpee for just $1.99. Now, you can't go too crazy here. Your cup-like container has to be able to fit under the drink dispenser. So what would you bring?
I feel like if you really, because okay, how much could a Slurpee really cost, right? Aren't they normally like about $2? So you can't go like normal size cup.
No.
I feel like you've got to get like a funnel and like a cooler and just fill it up with Slurpees. That's the move.
Yes.
What would you do?
I feel so bad for the people who work at 7-Eleven that day because they're
know.
just constantly refilling.
Chaos.
I would probably bring a salad bowl because if it's in a salad bowl, it's salad, right?
Yeah, and then you could have a party and have like a little punch bowl, like scoop for that night, whatever it's called, ladle. Share the love with everybody. I don't know. Make a day of it. If you really like frozen pizza, turns out you're not alone. A new study says that people prefer it over going to a pizzeria. According to the study, frozen pizza sales have grown by 11% over the last year, with people saying that they'd rather buy a frozen pizza in a typical week than going out to get it. Most people say that this has to do with the cost difference. So do you prefer frozen or fresh pizza on a regular basis, China?
I prefer frozen because the pizza prices are getting out of hand.
They are really expensive.
$30 for a pizza, my guy?
Yeah.
No, that's a solid $10 right there.
I love going out for pizza, and like I used to live in New York, so I'm used to having like fresh pizza on every street corner, but getting it for like $2 to $3 a slice. So the prices are so expensive now. I do like Amy's frozen pizza though. I feel like that's really good.
Yes, they're good.
Yeah, and it doesn't have that like taste that a lot of the frozen pizzas have. So I guess it's more convenient, but I like going out for pizza.
I like Domino's.
Domino's is
get
great.
so much flack
and
for
Papa
that.
John's, that like garlic sauce. Oh, so good.
I love my Domino's.
Don't be ashamed of your Domino's
You know what? I won't
loving
be.
self.
Domino's for the win.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next on Studio 13 Live, a special performance from an Elton John tribute performer.
We are getting a sneak peek into Elton Dan's shows at the Triple Door this weekend. Just wait until you see this. Well, it is always amazing when you can pay tribute to those who inspire you the most. And today we are getting a very special performance from somebody who has dedicated their career to honoring legendary musician Elton John.
Yeah, Elton Dan and the Rocket Band is playing at the Triple Door today and tomorrow. And joining us now in studio is Elton Dan himself. So thank you so much for being here. You look fantastic,
Thank you.
by the way.
Yes,
Great
you
to be
do.
here. Thank you. Yes.
Obviously, huge Elton John fan here. Talk to us about when that all started and what kind of like inspired your career path.
You know, I've played music, piano my whole life and different things. Played on cruise ships and always played Elton John music because I loved it, you know, since I was a teenager. And I've continued it on. The tribute thing started getting big about 9-10 years ago. And so we took a chance with it and never have looked back. It's been just fantastic.
Amazing. And so when people go to one of your shows, what can they expect to see?
They're going to see the earlier Elton albums, songs from those albums, those 7 iconic albums. We don't play any Lion King stuff. We don't play any of the real modern stuff. We play the old rock and roll Elton John.
So you perform classics like Rocket Man,
Yes.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Benny and the Jets, but you also kind of dig deeper into his music. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, some of the deeper cuts, you know, off albums like Madman Across the Water, that unless you're a diehard Elton John fan, you don't really hear those on the radio that much, but us diehard Elton people love them. We play, every night we play 4 or 5 deep cut Elton John songs.
Wow. And speaking of that, he is currently on what he says his final world tour.
Yes.
Final, we'll see.
Yeah.
But you've been to a lot of concerts, obviously. So what is it like to go there as a tribute artist?
You know, it's been really cool recently with his farewell tour. So I was at his last 2 shows at Dodger Stadium, and people that have seen us perform, I got to meet them there. But it's fantastic. You know, it connects people, and yeah, so it's been fantastic.
Well, I can't wait any longer. I can't wait to see you perform today. You're going to be performing your song for us. So we'll get out of here. Take it away.
Thank you.
It's a little bit funny, this
had to get our, Elton John vibes on too.
Awesome.
That was awesome. What does it feel like to be performing Elton John's music?
It's my favorite music, and that song in particular. If you think about him and his lyricist Bernie Taupin were 18, 19 years old and wrote that beautiful music.
Yeah.
And those lyrics are so deep. Every time I play it, it amazes me. But yeah, it's just wonderful.
You do a great job at it.
And then when you play these shows, does anybody come up to you maybe before or after and mistake you for Elton John?
That hasn't happened yet. There's only one Elton. There will only be one Elton. I'm just honored and the band and I are to pay tribute to his wonderful music. And he's a beautiful human being. Through his music, he's so generous. And that inspires us. So.
And you've gotten pretty close to Elton John before, too, right?
I have.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've got to shake his hand twice because I was one of those crazy guys when he played at Sprint Center in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I rushed the stage at the end,
shook
his hand on stage left, then I ran to the other side and got him there. But I have had a chance to visit with David Furnish, his partner, and we had a great visit in Kansas City. I've met his guitar player, Davey Johnstone, and John Mayhem, his percussionist, and had a visit. So.
Elton Dan, thank you so much for coming in here today. That was such an awesome performance.
Thank you.
That was really good.
All right, if you want to buy tickets to the shows or just learn more about Elton Dan and the Rocket Band, we've got some info up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live. And don't go anywhere because Emerald Eats is coming up next.
And Next Level Burger is here to make their plant-based patties and talk about their commitment to combating climate change. It is time for Emerald Eats, where we highlight amazing food in our area.
I am so excited for this one. Today we are joined by Matt DeGruyter, the co-founder and CEO of Next Level Burger. Welcome.
Thank you so much, ladies. So nice to be here.
Thanks
for having
coming
us.
in. Yeah, so Next Level Burger's killing it. You opened a new location in Ballard.
Yes, we did.
This year. Tell us about your restaurant and how it's a little different from other burger joints.
Absolutely. So we are Next Level Burger, America's very first vegan burger joint chain, rocking plant-based ingredients, organic produce, non-GMO ingredients, and we pay living wages. We now have 10 locations across the country, definitely putting gray hair on my head, but we love what we do and we absolutely believe in it.
Yeah.
To come up on Earth Day, it's even more top of mind.
I believe in it too.
Yeah, so talk to us about the benefits of eating plant-based food.
So the most effective thing any of us can do to fight climate change and promote sustainability is to eat a plant-based diet, at least some of the time. At least 50% reduction in carbon emissions associated with a plant-based meal as opposed to a traditional one, and sometimes up to 90%.
That's incredible.
Now, when it's all said and done, it takes about 2,000 gallons of fresh water to make 1 pound of beef. And for a guy like me who used to eat 10 pounds of red meat a week, it's like a swimming pool.
No
so
kidding.
literally the most effective thing you can do is just eat a plant-based meal, at least some of the time, to help make the future a little bit brighter.
And you're helping make it easy with all this delicious
that's
food.
the goal, exactly.
What are we making today?
So today we have our signature burger, which is an organic quinoa mushroom patty. And we got this going here. And that is gonna be topped with organic produce, as I said, on a whole grain bun. Actually, I need to get our garlic thyme mayo.
Ooh, garlic thyme. You put an herb in something and I am here for it.
Fancy
Anything
fast.
mayo or aioli, I'm all over it.
Yes. Absolutely.
So good. Any other sauces that go on this one?
Just the garlic thyme mayo, and then we're gonna go with this beautiful patty. And of course, mushrooms are one of the most sustainable things on the planet. Phenomenal for you from a protein source perspective.
There's no meat in that?
No meat, no meat. Not unless they when I turn my back, they switch something up.
They swapped it out.
Our pepper jack cheese.
Lettuce.
Lettuce.
Now, do you think people come to Next Level Burger and don't realize that it's vegan and just like love it on their own?
Yeah, actually, it's happened a lot. I've had people that have eaten at our restaurant many times and then come up and say, "Wait a minute, bro, it's always a guy."
Yeah, of course.
Hey, bro, is there any meat in this? And I'm like, "No, man, it's 100% plant-based." He's like, "No." Yes. And he's like, "But it's so good." And that was kind of what our goal was with Next Level Burger, is that at the end of the day, people, it wasn't sacrifice. You could literally have your cake and eat it too. You could enjoy your meal. You could eat well for yourself. And now, as we know more and more, better for the planet. And at the end of the day, you know, if you can be better for your health, if you can be better from a sustainability perspective, why not?
Yeah, especially if it tastes really good. And you're using fresh avocado too.
Yes.
I feel like so often it's like that squeezed pre-made stuff.
Not
just
good.
Such a different experience.
No, and really, I mean, if you want to make an awesome apple pie, find awesome organic apples. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the same principle here. Make it out of phenomenal ingredients.
Yeah.
And then feed it to the people.
Okay.
So we
Great.
also have our crispy chicken ranch burger over here, our Beyond Burger for those that are looking to scratch that classic steakhouse itch. That might be a better option for you from the standpoint of the
Do
mushroom.
I just look like I devour steak?
Well, we had a little conversation about that mushroom, and I wanted to make sure
okay.
you
I'll
avoided
eat the one
that.
with mushrooms.
So this is a
Yeah.
mushroom,
Can't wait to
and then
try it.
again over there as well.
So you're supposed to take this out when you take a bite, right?
Yes,
okay.
yes. Or you can live on the edge.
I
and
honestly
you can leave
never
it in.
know and always
Yes.
feel like I'm doing it wrong.
And then I highly recommend the chicken burger.
Oh my
It
God, I
is
love this.
Phenomenal. And you can eat
This
this
is
every day,
fantastic.
3 times a day, and you're eating better, you're eating healthier. Now, that's a little bit of an indulgence
fresh.
over there, China, but at the end of the day,
tastes like it.
yeah. Yeah. But at
There's
the end
no
of the
meat in
day,
this.
this is a
Good.
win for the environment and your waistline.
I love this.
No, you did not. No waistline.
Yes. Yes, because literally you can eat leaner. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There are just so many reasons to eat a plant-based diet, at least again some of the times.
Yeah.
And at NLB, it's not about turning the planet vegan. It's about
Yeah.
giving a healthy, sustainable option
Yeah.
that's convenient, it's easy enough, and you can get excited about, right? As opposed to like, I'm gonna have a salad today,
Yeah.
which we have an awesome salad, but
Yeah.
a burger, fries, shake, I mean, that's what gets you, the eyebrows up.
Yeah.
Look at it messy. I love it.
And
Yeah.
it's not just burgers. You also do some
Yeah,
other
you
stuff
do
too.
fries. So,
Yeah.
but you make them differently. There's something with like chili and beer cheese.
Yeah, we've got our pub cheese, which is like a beer cheese on top of organic American potatoes. I mean, fried in organic sunflower oil. I mean, we pay attention to the detail.
Yeah, I feel like making sure all like the care that you put into getting organic and all that,
Yeah.
it affects how you feel after you eat it too. Like you don't
Absolutely.
feel like you have to take a nap or anything.
Yeah, you're ready to tackle the day. I
Yeah.
think we got on this track where we ate to indulge, and then it was like, I need a pot of coffee to get back into my day.
Yeah.
Eating should fuel your day.
Yeah, I
right?
do
It
love
shouldn't
coffee
burn
though
it.
too.
Oh, I love coffee. Don't get me wrong. It's just a question whether do you need it
Yeah.
or do you want it.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you about this. What is this on here?
So that is our organic tempeh bacon. So that's like scratching that itch of the bacon, but it's phenomenal.
We're just
whole food
scratching
bacon.
itches
Yeah.
everywhere. All right, here we go.
You of course have to wash your burger down with a delicious shake as well. Tell
Highly
us
recommend it, yes indeed.
what kind of flavors do you have, and
So-
also how are they helping the environment?
So we have 3 shakes today. We have our organic strawberry shake. He's getting nuts over here. Trying to feel free. I'm gonna get saucy. We have our and she's out. We have organic chocolate, fair trade chocolate cookie dough shake.
Ooh.
And we have, last but not least, for Earth Month, we have our organic ocean banana blue shake. And then we top this with, of course, it wouldn't be a shake without some whipped cream.
You're really doing this to us today.
Whoa. Look at that whipped cream. What kind do you want, China?
Well,
Why don't I take the first sip? I'm gonna go for this cookie dough one.
And then last but not least, we have real vegan fish from Sweden that you can
Swedish
indulge.
fish. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
it.
What is
And
that?
Spirulina, organic.
Oh my
Phenomenal
gosh.
for you. See, our colors come from actual food. This is a crazy
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Where you eat food as opposed to chemicals.
What?
Yeah.
I know, red dye.
Wild.
You don't actually have to have red dye in your diet every day. It's
I love
crazy.
that. My sister uses like turmeric to dye
Yeah,
things too. She's
see?
making like a frosting.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
And all of that.
And
I
so
love it.
what you're literally participating in, you know how to get down. I'm telling you what.
Go China.
Is sustainable,
Yeah.
it is good for the planet, and it's something that you can feel good about for yourself. Like, you're nourishing your body
100%.
and indulging.
Matt,
with it.
thank you so much.
Thank
you brought
you
us
so
so
much,
much good
ladies.
stuff. I'm so into this. We've got a
Yes.
link with more info on Next Level Burger on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. Have a good weekend.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile.